My friend, shall we depart to Caldeum?
It was all just stories. My uncle saw what he wanted to see.
Deckard sacrificed much to protect this world. But his work is not over.
What would you know about sacrifice?
Tyrael, the ancient law of the high heaven strictly forbids us from interfering with the mortal world. Yet you have done so, brazenly.
All I am guilty of, Imperius, is bringing justice, while you hide, cowering behind your throne.
Silence! You will now answer for your transgressions.
You cannot judge me. I am justice itself. We were meant for more than this. To protect the innocent. But if our precious laws bind you all to inaction, then I will no longer stand as your brother.
You chose to be one of us.
Sacrilege.
Thus, I fell, willingly. Because humanity is the only hope for this world.
I never believed all your crazy tales. The work. You never finished. I will finish it, Uncle. I will carry on for you. Now that Tristram is safe, I travel to Caldeum, the great city of the East. It has fallen before one of the last lords of hell, Belial. I mean to set the city free.
Here we are. Caldeum, Jewel of the East. Uncle Deckard loved this place.
He wouldn't now that it is under the spell of Belial, Lord of Lies. I can smell his stench on the air.
We'll have to separate. You two search for Belial, while I track down Magda and make her pay for Kane's death.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be... I can't believe what people throw away. I want to buy some of it.
Returning to Caldeum must be hard for you.
I told myself I'd never come back here. And yet here I am.
Because of what happened to your father?
Because of what happened to me. Some scars don't heal, and there's no point in scratching at them, is there? The weather doesn't suit me either.
You may notice that jewels you find enhance your already considerable abilities. I can combine similar gems to make a more powerful one. At the moment, I can only offer you a few basic pieces of jewelry. Now, if you bring me supplies, I will eventually be able to offer you exciting and exotic new designs. But it doesn't have to be just business with us. Come by and talk anytime, my friend. I knew you would lead me to exciting and mysterious places. We should encounter the jewel I seek any day now.
You seem very sure.
Oh, I'm always sure, but seldom right. It's a curse.
You're not cursed, you're just careless. What does this jewel look like?
An interesting question. It changes form to appeal to the finder, you see. When it's picked up, it eats the holder's life until nothing remains. But you're right. It would be dangerous for a careless man like me to pick up such an artifact. I'm so glad you are here. You try to give a young man some advice, and he assumes you are the Sensei god of thieves, traveling in disguise as an elderly jeweler. I understand his confusion, as I do share certain features.
People will believe anything that gives them hope. Do you think your advice will get him in trouble?
Only if he ignores it.
The people of Shansai worship 59 gods, but few are more revered than Zai, the exiled trickster god who travels the face of the world disguised as a humble merchant. Tales of his adventures range from ingenious thefts and practical jokes to more lurid exploits, none of which I'm comfortable recording here.
I heard a rumor that there is a strange and mysterious jewel crafting device hidden in the aqueducts of the Daugr Oasis. I have a mind to go search for it myself. Don't worry, I won't go alone. I'm sure I'll find someone to show me around. Oh, it's even harder than I remembered, Dad. I'm afraid I'm growing weak. I need a drink and a bath. And something to keep the sun off. Or maybe just a nice cool jewel to put on my forehead. That will fix everything.
You seem down today. Tell me what Miriam can do for you.
I am not down. I look forward to the death of Magda and her coven.
You're saying you're happy? I'd hate to see you upset. So the demon lords want to crush all humanity beneath their heel. Does that mean you can't smile? The cultists are making a great mess of things out in the desert. They deserve the painful death you will bring to them.
As do any who consort with demons. But what are they doing out there?
They are torturing and killing innocent villagers to lure you into their trap. But you'll get the better of them, won't you? An enchanting young woman, who is much more than her youth suggests, will come to your aid today. She can be of great help to you, so try to be polite, will you?
Why do you think I will need her help? What do you see happening?
The Coven will use deception to try to ambush you. Ugh, how predictable.
Wait, back up a moment. What was that you said about an enchanting young woman?
Ah, Celdo. Unlike me, she will be immune to your charming advances. But it doesn't hurt to try, does it? I was just talking to Hedrick. He is still denying his grief. He really needs to open up. If he would just let me comfort him, it would do him a world of good.
Tell me, guard, why are all these refugees here?
I am not a guard. I am a Shira, commander of the Iron Wolves. We saved these refugees from Magda's coven, but even now wreaks havoc throughout the borderlands.
I have been hunting Magda all the way from New Tristram. Where can I find her?
She's heading toward Alcarnus, but has blocked the road behind her. However, there is another way, through the Kasim outpost. All of these people have fled from the cultists in Alcarnus. They are refugees far from their homes.
Why don't they go into the city, where there is more shelter?
The Imperial Guard lets no one in. These people are sentenced to a slow death. The Iron Wolves were mercenaries, until we helped the Zakharum priests find the successor to the first Emperor Hakan. We became the Emperor's personal guard after that, but everything changed a few months ago when the first refugees began arriving. An Imperial Guard was created to protect the citizens from the refugees, while we were out in the desert fighting the Coven and their demon spawn. Eventually, they took over.
Emperor Hakan threw his entire court out of the city. They're trapped out here with the rest of us.
There is some justice in this world, after all.
Justice? They're a load of pompous fools. But even they don't deserve what's coming tonight.
What happens tonight?
They're wearing jewels worth more than any of us see in a year. And they have to sleep sometime.
Tyrael and I learned that while the Iron Wolves were fighting Magda in the desert, the Emperor replaced them with Imperial guards who bar all from the inner city.
I suspect that the Iron Wolves were sent out to die. Belial has made his move. We must find a way into the city.
As a child, I explored Caldeum while Uncle Deckard studied here. I can get in through the sewers.
Good. Learn what you can. We'll reconvene after I've killed Magda.
Be careful. Alcarnus sounds like Magda's trap.
This gate leads to Alcarnus. You'll need to follow the long road over the canyon bridge and through the Kasim outpost. We haven't heard anything from the Iron Wolves in the desert. If you make it to the Kasim outpost, seek out Captain David.
Something tells me this will...
Take heed, traveler. Cultists guard these desert roads, and they will slay any who pass.
I've heard. I traveled here to kill them and their leader.
Then you must not go alone. I shall accompany you.
Well now, it's my lucky day.
There are illusions out there. Mirages to some. But I can see them for what they are. The Coven's foul magic. They will lead you to your death.
Thanks for the warning, but I know a trap when I see one.
Not enough discipline.
Stay back! They're in the rocks!
I am too low on discipline.
Be careful. They They are very near to us.
What do you mean? The road is blocked.
You should never have come. Demons will feast on your bones.
How did you know about the ambush?
I am an enchantress. The ways of magic and illusion are familiar to me. My name is Arena.
My thanks, Irena. It seems you are doing a lot more than saving travelers, though.
Well, I am also looking for someone. But here, let me clear the way for you.
So, do you have anything going on after this?
I have sworn to fulfill the wishes of the Prophet, even if my life shall be forfeit.
Oh, I see.
Captain, from behind!
Protect the people! Iron Wolves!
If not for you, the Lacuni would have eaten well this day.
Will I need to slaughter more Lacuni on my way to Alcarnus?
Ha! Those beasts are nothing compared to the cultists. They're casting spells in 2 of their desert lairs to obscure the Black Canyon Bridge.
Let us head north to the Howling Plateau. The cultist magic seems to be emanating from there.
I need more discipline.
There is another illusion here. The cultists tried to hide their footsteps, but their spells are weak and easily countered. If we follow these prints, we can find their lairs and halt the rituals. I will seek out any other traces of their magic. Look! More hidden footprints.
It seems that the Fallen are indeed creatures of demonic origin. The old heraldic tale claims they were once powerful servants of the mythical Asmodan. They purportedly aided him in his battle against the prime evils.
This is one of the cultists' lairs. They are casting part of the illusion inside.
As long as you aren't an illusion too.
Whatever do you mean?
How satisfying.
The ritual is disrupted!
This should remove part of the illusion.
I've lost all hope.
It is with some reluctance that I write on the 7 Lords of Hell, for they are the greatest of the demons, and even whispering their names seems to poison the air around me. They are divided into the lesser evils, Belial, Asmodan, Duriel, and Andariel, and the prime evils, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo.
Look! More hidden footprints. Look! More hidden footprints.
Not enough discipline.
Look, more hidden footprints. This is one of the cultist lairs. They are casting part of the illusion inside.
As long as you aren't an illusion too.
Whatever do you mean?
The ritual is disrupted!
There. That ought to dispel the Coven's magic. Let us go to the bridge. Tell me, what shall you do when Magda is dead?
I will kill her master Belial and his brother Asmodan. The long shadows of the Lords of Hell will be lifted from this world.
How curious. You must be the one I was meant to find here.
Bravo!
I think it is time for you to know my true tale. I am not from Caldeum. I learned these spells 1,500 years ago. My sisters and I pledged our service to a man of great power. We called him the Prophet. He trained us and placed us in a magical slumber to awaken in this era. I am to prevent the Lords of Hell from invading.
I would scarcely believe it if I hadn't seen your spells with my own eyes. You must have waited for this even longer than I have. Please, join me.
The Prophet has foreseen our victory. I practiced so long for that.
The Qasim outpost can't be far.
You will find it to the north, though it is still some distance away.
Vile forces are closing in! Raise your weapon!
This is no illusion. The cultists block the road. I'll have to go through the Qasim outpost to the west.
Your fear betrays you!
My hatred is too low. I need more hatred to do that.
A most thrilling battle!
Belial, Lord of Lies, is the most elusive of the seven evils, and is a master of deceit. It is said that he manipulated Asmodan into revolt against the prime evils. This began the Burning Hell's civil war, which ended with the dark exile of the prime evils to our mortal realm.
It is too quiet.
Captain of the Guard, you are hereby ordered to send a band of your most loyal men to secure the Kasim outpost. Control of the city hangs by a thread. The commoners are becoming restless, and it is imperative that we subdue them. Remain vigilant, for there may already be an outsider within our borders looking to stir up trouble.
I need to reach Alcanus. Please open the gate.
You must be mad. But if you're intent on rushing headlong to your death, talk to Captain David down in the command post. He's got the gate key.
Here you are, delivered unto me as a sacrifice, a gift from Lord Belial.
Really, Magda? Or did Belial send you here as bait to lure me away from Caldeum? I will kill you, you know.
No! He would never betray me! Strike her down!
Belial is the Lord of Lies, Magda. The truth is, you were dead the minute you killed Cain.
Not a moment too soon. They plan to sacrifice us to Belial. Iron Wolves, take back the town!
We've been just...
My respects.
Has Magda reached Alcanus?
Yes, we've heard rumors of a horrible slaughter there.
Then I cannot delay any longer. Open the gate. Cain's death will soon be avenged.
I will use it well.
That was just a taste!
Not enough
Strange
hatred.
magic radiates from these foes.
The Valrus manuscript lists Asmodan as the best battlefield commander of all demons, having defeated the angels many times in the eternal conflict across Pandemonium and the prime evils in the demonic civil war. If the Lord of Sin ever assaults our realm, we truly have much to fear.
You won't survive that!
Help us! You can't leave us here! Oh, thank you.
Put this place behind you.
My hatred is too low. Your fate is sealed, Magda. The chase ends here.
It matters not. While you hunted me, Belial's Imperial Guard captured your little witch Leah. Soon, her power shall be his.
This was the least I could do for Cain. No one else will die at Magda's hands.
She was consumed by shadow. It pains me to see it.
I am returning to town.
When I joined the Coven, it was weak and idle. The leaders were content to do nothing, while the prime evils were imprisoned. I convinced another witch to help me poison them, and together we took control. She left some years later, but I continued, bringing the Coven to glory under Lord Belial.
I need to go back.
As her life was slipping away, Magda claimed that the demon lord Belial would reign over our world. I will die before I let such a dark fate come to pass. Before I killed her, Magda told me that the Imperial Guard had captured Leah. I saw these guards at the Cassim outpost. They are the serpent demons of Belial, disguised as men.
Then they must be holding the Emperor against his will. I tremble to think what Belial might do with Leah and her growing power. The only chance we have to rescue Leah is to wrest the Emperor from the grasp of the Imperial Guard.
Ashira, the Iron Wolves captain, may be willing to help us. I will speak with her. It is strange that your fall raised the dead in Tristram. You were an angel of the high heavens.
Not just any angel. I was the Archangel of Justice. My fall awoke the vengeful dead who were slain unjustly during Diablo's reign of terror. There was nothing I could do. As my power left my body, I had absolutely no control over it. Caldeum is the greatest city in the world, the seat of the Empire of Kyrgyzstan.
I have heard it called the Jewel of the East.
Its libraries overflow with undeciphered tomes of arcane knowledge. Its streets cover labyrinthine tunnels. It is a city of wonder and mystery. I do not know how these refugees persevere. Their situation is dire, and it seems there is little hope for them. Where do they find the strength to carry on?
Humans have been made to suffer much more than this. You must be unaware.
The human spirit never ceases to amaze me. I feel Belial in the very air. I see his shadow behind haunted eyes. Hear his voice whispering lies on the wind. He need not bring an army to this city. It is his already.
Is Caldeum still the city you remembered?
Last time I passed through here was soon after meeting Mira. She wanted to stop and see the city, but I convinced her to travel on. My good memories of Caldeum feel like I'm watching someone else's life. I'll be glad for us to be gone.
Did you meet your wife in Caldeum by chance?
It's actually quite a tale. We met in a town not far from here on the outskirts of Curast. She was... well, you're not going to believe it. She was locked in a cage.
Why? Had she committed a crime?
No. They were going to burn her as a witch.
You fell in love with a witch?
Let's talk about this another time.
Oh, the Jewel of the East! Caldeum is really quite amazing. I have never seen anything quite like it. And I have seen so many things in my life.
You realize that Caldeum is a city, not an actual jewel, don't you?
That explains quite a bit, actually.
My people are shunned many places, but we were always welcomed in Caldeum. Something must be very wrong, that they won't even let their own people into the city now.
Something? Can you see into the future, or can't you?
Is that any way to speak to me? And you don't need visions to see that Belial is in control of the city. The question is how. I must say, I'm very fond of this new family I find myself in. But you could be a bit more open about your love for us, you know.
My family is dead.
Oh, don't try to hide it. You act like you just need us for our skills. But we know the real reason you've brought us along with you. Have I ever told you that I knew Shen before he became part of our family here? Oh, he is such a sweet old fool. What a wild love we had for each other. He used to do the most surprising things, if you know what I mean. I could tell you stories that would curl your hair.
Please don't.
New goods today. Please look, you won't be disappointed.
Those demon hunters are unbelievable. I would have liked to have seen what she did to those cultists in Alcarnus.
I can't believe anyone could have survived that out there, let alone defeat those monsters.
I know, but she did it.
Damius, is that you? What happened?
Thieving peasants. They came while I was sleeping, pinned me down, and cut off my robes and jewelry.
I'm so sorry, my friend. Come, stay with me. I am sharing a tent with a fine and generous family.
Oh no, I am staying where the guards are. You wait and see. That peasant family is going to slit your throat and rob your corpse.
Captain Ravan, the conditions out here are deplorable. Something must be done to aid these people.
What is happening in the city? Why won't you let me in?
Ashira, the Emperor and my friend are in grave danger. I must gain entry into the palace.
I heard what you did at Kasim Outpost in Alcarnus. You have my thanks. And you shall have my help. Captain Ravan, this woman has vital information regarding the massacre in the Borderlands. We must see the Emperor at once.
Very well, but I don't think you'll find him receptive. Let them pass!
Our homes are destroyed, yet you do nothing.
Let's go. I'll lead you to the palace.
You are bold to have sought this audience with me. My guards tell me you were responsible for the massacre of innocent villagers in Alcarnus.
Those are lies. Magda and her coven destroyed Alcarnus in the name of Belial.
If you are innocent, Then why do you have spies skulking through my sewers? Bring her in!
Let me go!
I detest violence. Gods, I leave this matter in your hands.
No!
I knew you'd come for me.
We need to leave before more guards arrive.
Get out of here. I will cover your escape.
Thank you. Now we need to get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get there. These demons are blocking our way. We must destroy their summoning construct.
Not enough hatred.
There has to be a way into the sewers from here. This leads to the sewers.
I've become more formidable.
I found my mother Adria. She's alive. But the Imperial Guard is holding her somewhere down here.
We will find her.
This is just like target practice. So Magda was telling the truth. Somehow I knew my mother was alive. I always knew it.
But you never knew her. Be wary, Via. Things are not as they seem sometimes.
My exemplary servants. Keep the witch alive until she talks. Pain will loose her tongue, but only to a point. Remember what happened with the vizier's assistant? It was a pleasurable time, I admit. But the man had only incoherent babble and bloody strands of pus spilling from his lips by the end.
You won't survive that! Look! Just over there! I never imagined such a creature.
The Prophet would be pleased.
Adria should be up here.
Tell us about the Black Soul Stone! We know of the three that the Horadrim used to trap the Primevals. What is the purpose of this one?
Your master Belial has good reason to fear it.
Leave her alone!
Seize them!
These deserts are so empty.
Does this trouble you?
No. There is an emptiness within me as well.
Leah, my daughter.
You know who I am?
My darling, I've watched over you all your life, but I never dared get close because of the danger that always shadows me.
We can't talk here. Let's get to safety first.
Hey lady, I got some new things. You should take a look.
I'm surprised Cain never told you why I left. He knew I was called to fight the Lords of Hell, and I knew he would keep you safe.
He's gone now.
Then it's fate that we have been reunited. Cain's work, your work, is my war.
According to the Heraldric texts, only 2 evils remain. Belial is here in Caldeum, and Asmodan has yet to reveal himself.
Do you regret leaving Leah behind?
What? No, I never saw it that way. She grew up in safety, while I risked my life to find the key to our salvation. It was the sacrifice that I had to make. In any case, Leah will meet her full potential under my guidance. Do you not have things to do?
How well did you know Cain?
For a time, during the darkening of Tristram, we spent many nights in the Tavern of the Rising Sun, discussing his Heraldric texts and the varied arcana I'd collected during my travels.
Did you ever meet him again?
Only from afar. From time to time, our paths would cross, and I would catch glimpses of Leah as she grew. It broke my heart that I could not reveal myself and raise her as my own.
How did the Imperial Guard find you?
I was trying to steal out of the city. I'd returned to gather some things before setting out to recover Zoltankul's head, and the guards found me.
The guards were asking you about this Black Soul Stone. I remember reading about it in Uncle's journal, but it didn't seem important.
No, but it is. It is the key to defeating evil forever. It was created by the mage Zoltan Kuhl to trap demonic souls.
Yes! He was a renegade Horadrim, dismembered by his brethren before he could activate the Soul Stone. His head was sealed away in the Dulgar Oasis.
We must retrieve it, because if we're to use the Soul Stone to defeat Belial and Azmodan, Zoltan Kuhl must live again.
I have reunited Leah with her mother, the witch Adria. She spoke to us about the Black Soul Stone, an artifact that could permanently destroy the Lords of Hell. I must find it at any cost.
Murderer, torturer, monster. These were the titles bestowed upon Zoltan Kuhl by the Horadrim. Though it cost them dearly, they killed the wizard for his crimes against nature and sealed his broken corpse within a shadow realm. It seems they were afraid he might return. Zoltan Kuhl, a legend. There is no doubt in my mind he is as powerful as the stories say. But for every bit of his genius, he was surely mad. He was obsessed with immortality and power.
A madman. We would do better to leave him asleep in the desert than to call on him for aid.
You have a better idea.
I do not. It is merely a warning.
Tyrael seems to think that Zoltan Kuhl cannot be trusted. Shouldn't we listen to him?
It will be dangerous, but you have faced great peril before. If Belial and Azmodan invade, you will have much more to worry about than a dismembered wizard.
I don't like dealing with Kuhl any better than you do, but I see no other way. If Adria says we must, then we must. Uncle Deckard trusted her, and so will I.
I heard that you were there 20 years ago when Mount Arreat was destroyed.
Baal, the Lord of Destruction, sought to enslave mankind to the power of hell by corrupting the sacred World Stone. Unthinkable though it was, I was forced to destroy it.
And half the countryside with it.
Understand, friend, that entire worlds burned as heaven and hell fought over the World Stone. Arreat's destruction was regrettable. And, believe me, I paid a high cost as well.
What happened to you after you destroyed the World Stone?
The resultant explosion dispersed the light and harmony of my angelic being. Without form or shape, I restored myself within the realm of pandemonium. It took me 20 of your years, but finally, I returned home to the high heavens.
The other angels must have been grateful.
Hardly. Believing my actions had endangered creation, the Angiras Council put me, the Archangel of Justice, on trial. I knew then that heaven was doomed, unless I could enlist the aid of mankind against the coming onslaught of hell. 300 years ago, I selected Kuhl and 6 others to form the Horadrim. He was a great man who was driven mad by his long quest to hunt evil.
Why did the Horadrim kill Zoltan Kuhl?
He delved into powers not meant for man, trying to fashion an artifact that could fill his empty heart with the souls of angels and demons. The Horadrim had no choice but to slay him. The Order never recovered.
Tell me more about that your wife.
I broke her out in the middle of the night and we escaped. They didn't chase us far. I guess they were glad to see her go.
A real boy meets witch story, hmm?
She wasn't a witch. She was a mystic. Though we didn't find that out for a time. Not until we started traveling with the Vetchin wagon train. But that's a story for another time.
Those you've chosen to fight alongside you are an interesting bunch. Children after my own heart, flawed in such interesting ways. Irena, you are quite vivacious for one with such a burden. Cormac has certainly noticed. Oh, don't pretend you haven't seen him looking at you. He'd best keep his vows in mind. Or maybe he shouldn't. And that Lyndon, he makes me laugh. He can warm my bed any night. Reminds me of my second husband, he does. This Adria, I sense dark things about her. She is not averse to using whatever means necessary to destroy Asmodan and Belial. She will use the Black Soulstone, no matter what the cost.
As would I.
Some costs may prove too high, even for you. I worry about Leah. How is she?
Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason. She just needs someone looking out for her. This Zoltan Kuhl sounds like an untrustworthy fellow. You don't have your head separated from your body for no good reason.
We need him to get the Soul Stone.
Well, if you must. But I don't trust any of those ancient sorcerer types. Always up to no good.
What about the rest of your family?
My brother and I were orphans. We only had each other.
You were both thieves then?
No. He was a member of the city guard.
That seems awkward for you.
Not as much as you might think. Until the end, that is.
Why did you become a thief if your brother was a guard?
We're not much alike, really. He was always dependable and practical. A complete bore, I'd say.
And you were always in trouble.
Hardly. I was just amusing myself with the Thieves' Guild. It was nothing serious.
Until you became a criminal.
That may have been serious.
What happened to your brother precisely?
Nothing you'd want to hear.
I asked.
And then what? I suppose you'll make it all right. You'll fix it up just like another one of your little errands. Some things aren't that easy.
Well, I can't do anything if I don't know the situation.
God, you're so noble about it too. Spare me.
I have considered what we discussed, and you are correct. I know little about my past, beyond what my order has told me. But what does it matter? Look what they have done for me. They've turned me into a living weapon, a light against darkness.
At what price? Your past? Your humanity? After the battles, that is all we will have left.
I wouldn't know how to begin. How do I seek memories that have been taken from me?
Focus on anything you can remember before you join the Order. Dreams, nightmares, it's all there. You need but find a key.
You may be right. I will find a way to take back my memories and exonerate my Order. I have thought of a way to retrieve my lost memories, but it is dangerous. I must ask you to promise me something. Should I lapse into my old sins, whatever they may be, you must kill me, as I killed Jondar.
Done. Now what?
I found a journal on Jondar's corpse, written in an ancient Templar cipher. I can translate it, but it will take some time. Perhaps studying his treachery will give me a clue into my past.
Perhaps. Why are you concerned?
Jondar was once a man of faith, devoted to the Templar Order. What if he discovered something that made him betray himself? Matters not, for I must do this anyway. I have translated a strange passage from Jondar's journal. Long before he began serving Magda, he found a set of what he called key words hidden in a dusty librum. He writes that when he read these words, memories from his past returned to torment him. It was at that point that he began to mistrust the Order, though he did not say why. I am prepared to look upon these words and risk my soul. But I want you to understand something. I know I may die at any time. When I do, it must be without a single doubt that I am serving the light.
There is no sin in confronting your fears.
Thank you, my friend. But please, remember your promise.
I think I might have met Zoltan Kuhl once. He seemed like a perfectly reasonable sort, for a mage, that is.
For a mage? What do you mean exactly?
Oh, yes. Well, you know how they can be. With the waving hands and the mumbling all the time. They can be a little strange.
What have you learned?
I've read this passage over and over, but it just doesn't make any sense. Uncle Deckard's ciphers aren't revealing anything for it.
Then you will have to make your own cipher. You are more than capable, Leah.
It's disgusting. I've seen that woman going in and out of the sewers.
You never can tell with those types.
I think we may have a visitor up ahead.
It's hard to believe that you came from such a faraway time. Tell me, what were the deserts like then?
Beautiful cities towered up toward the heavens, but they were full of wickedness. The Vigerai ruled them with will's sharpest stone.
That name sounds familiar. Who were the Vigerai?
A clan of mages, bound more by their lust for power than by blood. I see that their influence has waned in this age.
You said you served a wizard, didn't you? Was he one of them?
Oh no, he meant to punish the Vigerai. They were the first to summon demons into this land.
Is everything as the prophet told you? Or have there been surprises?
Well, I did not expect you to keep company with a seraph.
You must mean the angel Tyrael.
I knew what he was the instant I beheld him, but being in his presence makes me quite nervous.
It was hard for me to believe at first, but he is here to aid us. You need not fear him.
We do not deserve it. Tyrael sacrificed all he knew to aid us. I hope it is worthwhile.
You are quite unusual, you know.
It is merely the consequence of seeing that which is not readily visible. I have accepted it.
I think it's a fine trait. Sometimes people don't know what to make of me either.
Then you have my thanks. Although, perhaps you are right. I feel as though part of me still sleeps in a faraway realm.
You slept for a long time. It will pass.
That would be nice, but the feeling I have indicates that it is more unpleasant and complicated than that.
Listen to me. I cannot talk for long. Belial's guards are constantly watching me.
Emperor Hakam?
Forgive me for my behavior at court. The gods would have killed me had I sided with you. But I will help you now as I can. You must be headed to the oasis. I can open this gate for you.
How did this all happen?
There's little I can do. Between my advisors and the Imperial Guard, my every move and action are controlled. I have tried to fight back, but Belial's influence is strong. But now you've given me a chance. Perhaps my only chance.
You wish to aid me, Your Majesty?
You're here to kill Belial, aren't you? I can help.
But you are watched day and night.
I can still fight in my own way. I want my empire back. I will find where Belial is hiding and deliver him to you.
Why should I trust you? You tried to kill us.
I told you it was not my choice. My every move is controlled and I am surrounded by enemies. But I swear to you, I will help you. I will prove it to you.
It is so beautiful.
It is easy to focus on the dangerous foes one may encounter on the ground, but the Bloodhawks rule the skies with terrible ferocity. These crimson-winged birds will wait until their prey is at a disadvantage, then swoop down to attack. Watch for their shadows on the nearby terrain, and be prepared to flee quickly.
Diablo was the youngest of the prime evils, but I found him the most dangerous, for his power over terror left him incapable of feeling fear. Though he had easily possessed and corrupted many humans, Diablo's essence was finally trapped in a soul stone and banished to the unfathomable abyss 20 years ago.
Riches await us! Quickly now! Show them what you're capable of!
I am too low on discipline. I could get accustomed to that.
To those who doubt my achievements in research, I present my findings on the Dune Dervish. It took me many years to find the truth of these strange, deadly figures. But my sources indicate that they are the cursed remains of mages who summoned a demon far beyond their power to control.
Help! Please help! Help! Please help me! What is that noise? Oh no! They found us!
I need more hatred to do that.
The Imperial Guards left me here to die, but you saved me. Thank you.
We will seek these guards you speak of. They will be punished for this.
Darkness awaits!
Slake your thirst on the heretic's blood, my children!
Fazul will drink no more.
Thank the Seraphim for that.
Fazul Alcazar promised that he would lead his followers from sinful Caldeum to a lily-strewn paradise at the heart of the desert, and that the journey would transform them beyond all recognition. Judging by the condition of the gnawed corpses found weeks later, Fazul kept at least one of his promises.
I need more discipline.
That was inspiring. It used to be so much larger.
I am too low on discipline.
These abominations must die!
My studies indicate that a high-level cleric of the Zakarum named Akan began to sense the corruption that was eating away at the heart of his faith. He knew this corruption would eventually destroy his beloved church, and that he must take action. After much prayer, Akan hit upon the idea of an order of crusaders.
Perhaps Zoltan Kuhl's head lies through this portal.
We are in agreement. Kuhl, the renegade, must be stopped. He seeks to duplicate the power of the stones and wield it for his own ends. He is obsessed with the powers of heaven and hell. Drawing their attention will only bring doom to us all.
Dark magic fills this place like a foul mist.
Your fear betrays you! Sweet revenge! Not enough discipline.
Not all dangerous demons are large and imposing. The dust imps are little more than children in size, but they possess the cunning and bloodlust of far larger creatures. They take cover in the shadows, emerging only when viable prey wanders too close. Then they ambush, leaving little more than bones behind them.
I have more control now. That was just a taste! Vengeance! I need more discipline.
That was just a taste!
We set out in one big sky, into the desolate sands, to search for Kul's hidden archives. None of us have any idea what to expect. How far has Kul's madness driven him? How much power has he accumulated in his mad quest? I can only hope we are not too late.
I am returning to town.
If you keep holding back, then you'll never improve.
Ah!
Leah, are you all right?
Yes, I think so.
I'm sorry to push you like this, but it will all be for the best in the end.
I know.
It is time. Leah, cast the spell as I taught you.
I live again.
Zoltan Kul. We need you to activate the Black Soul Stone. We would use it to trap the last two Lords of Hell.
I know your voice, stranger. It has haunted me in death, just as it commanded me in life. Tyrael.
I am, but now mortal.
Ah, fate is whimsical.
After surviving the devastation in Tristram all those years ago, I swore vengeance upon Diablo and his ilk. I've sacrificed everything for it. This is my path, and I will follow it through to its bloody end.
Leah is grateful to have you here. She has lost so much.
She has a kind heart.
Isn't that what you wanted?
Kindness will not help us survive in these dark times. The Lord of Lies is cunning. He wears many masks to hide his shifting nature from us. But we will have an advantage over him. The Black Soul Stone. Belial fears its power, for Soul Stones have bested his siblings in the past, and he could be imprisoned as well.
I miss Uncle Deckard so much. It's hard going on without him.
It is hard to leave the dead behind. Most of us never truly can. But he will live on in your memory, Leah.
Thank you. I'm going to get back to my research.
Have you ever met Belial in battle?
Not openly. He was never one to lead an army, always in the shadows, much like his mentor, Mephisto. He wields intrigue and artifice as proficiently as you wield your weapons.
I will give you the Black Soul Stone, but in exchange, I must be made whole once again.
You were treacherous before. How do I know you won't be an even greater threat once you've been fully revived?
You don't. So you must ask yourself, how much would you risk to save this wretched world?
Everything.
So be it. To begin, you will need to retrieve my blood from the dungeons where it has been hidden away. You will find them in the desolate sands beyond the aqueducts.
I'm going to go with you. We should bring Kul's head with us. Maybe he'll have something useful to say. I'll put him in your bag.
What was it like traveling with the Vetchin?
When we first joined the wagon train, we were just two lost souls. The Vetchin thought it was unbearably romantic. A pair of lovers on the run from their pasts. I suppose it might have even been true. A mystic with the Vetchin recognized Mira's talent immediately. We stayed with them while Mira learned from her. Along the way, we fell in love and married. I've never known anything as surely as my love for her.
Sounds like she cast a real spell on you, didn't she?
Never mind.
Hey lady, I got some new things. You should take a look.
You're looking at me in a very strange manner.
I wonder if you are taking advantage of people's beliefs, if you are letting them think you are a god.
I would be taking advantage if the advice I give is harmful, or their beliefs aren't true.
That makes little sense. Your advice may be sound, but you are no god.
It always warms my heart to see absolute certainty in one so young. You must be very brave.
You're an interesting one, aren't you? I wonder if your friends know what you truly are.
What are you babbling about?
Oh, all will be revealed in time.
What did you do to earn the hatred of the Horadrim?
I bear the same scars they all did. They knew the truth of it. But the fools buried their heads in the sand. They thought the evils were sealed away, never to trouble us again. They needed a solution. They needed to end it all.
How did you learn of the Soul Stones?
I spent many hours with them as we hunted the three. I studied them, intrigued by their power. In the long years after our victory, I felt an emptiness within me. A bitterness that consumed my days and nights. With a soul stone of my own, heaven and hell could be brought low. And humanity could rise, unchallenged, unrestricted.
Only you can defeat this monstrosity!
You said that your sisters were supposed to join you here. Where are they?
They should have awakened as well, but their mission has already ended.
How?
I sought out the closest two before I met you. They lay dead and mutilated in their chambers. The others are some distance away. I fear the worst.
What happened to them?
There were traces of demonic magic upon their wounds. Surely the Prophet could have protected them. Where has he gone?
Your fear betrays you!
more time to explore the great library of Caldeum when this is all over.
You are more like your uncle than you know.
Maybe. But they've got to have books on the Black Soul Stone and Asmodan. Something that will help me understand his theories.
You will not enter the aqueducts! Lord Belial demands your blood!
This cannot be opened
I
yet.
can open this gate for you.
Emperor Hakan?
No time for pleasantries. I think I may have uncovered Bilal's assumed identity. I'm very close. But here's what you need to know. To find Kul's blood, you'll need to get through the aqueducts. There are 2 levers that control the entrance beneath the waterfall.
Have you located Belial?
Not yet, but I have some ideas. It is difficult. I have many advisors and other attendants close to me day and night. I will find him.
How are you able to appear before us?
They keep a close watch on me. I can't leave the palace. I stole an amulet from the Vajera ambassador. I saw him use it before. But I don't have much time. You need to find the stone. Leave Belial to me.
He did not really answer your question. How odd.
I don't like the look of this place. Something was here before us. Likely demons.
It's Belial. So long as he lives, all of Caldeum is under siege. Uncle Deckard theorized that the demon lords leave demons in their wake, much like us leaving footprints.
Do you believe that?
Yes. The more I study my uncle's books, the more I realize that even I took his wisdom for granted.
Take care. These passages are full of traps.
Those corpses have quite a stench.
Most impressive.
I should have seen.
May their corpses rot here forever. Strange magic radiates from these foes.
The electric eels are insidious pests that have taken root in the oases surrounding Caldeum. Known for their stinging strikes, these creatures are particularly dangerous when they attack in large numbers. It is said that raw eel has become a delicacy among Caldeum's elite, but I assure you these rumors are baseless.
I miss searching for lost artifacts with Uncle Deckard, even though it did have its dangerous side. I can't tell you how many times I had to drag him away from an army of skeletons because he was fixated on some dusty old tapestry.
I see the lever.
That's one lever down.
I think we were meant to come this way. Perhaps someone waits for us down here?
must stop her!
Belial must really want you.
The Caldeum aqueducts were created by order of the Trade Consortium Council after the Dulgar Oasis was discovered 3 centuries ago. Though Caldeum had been prosperous for many years, a reliable source of water allowed the city to grow even further. Luxurious public fountains were built to provide safe drinking water for everyone.
Do you want more?
The philosopher Caddis said, if you want to know the truth of a city, you need look no further than the state of its infrastructure.
That would mean Caldeum is based on filth and demons.
Yes, and built on secrets.
Your fear betrays you!
That passage should lead to the Desolate Sands.
A secret door hidden behind a waterfall. How imaginative.
You would do better?
You shall see when we get to my archives.
I can't believe he stuck me in a barrel. Really, it's quite uncomfortable in here. Are you still alive out there? Or is it the monsters? Oh, say yes if you are. Or you could clap. Thank you for releasing me. It was getting a little boring in there. I am seeking a magic crucible that legend says was hidden in these very aqueducts. It would be a valuable addition to my jeweler's tools.
Help me find it, and I will be greatly indebted to you. Oh, how rude of me. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Covetous Shen.
Covetous? Is that really a name?
Why, yes. It's been mine as long as I can remember, and probably longer. I can't imagine why my young partner bashed me over the head and sealed me in there. This place is quite dangerous without a knowledgeable guide.
You were careless to come here in the first place. How have you lived so long?
I am too beautiful to kill.
And you thought I was odd.
What a fascinating place this is. Oh, look at all this wonderful architecture. You could walk all the way around the world and never find its like. Except for this part. I've seen this somewhere else before.
Crucible! It's mine!
The crucible should be safe now. Pick it up. Pick it up. Poor young man. If I had known the crucible was cursed, I never would have brought him along. If you come see me in Caldeum, I can show you how the crucible can combine jewel fragments. Well, you know, I've been searching for a certain jewel for a long, long time. I'm in no rush. But maybe if I go with you, I'll find it just like I found this crucible. May I come with you on your journey and make glorious jewelry for you?
I could use your services.
Oh, the way out is just a little farther. I am starving. Do you think we'll find any good food down here?
Here, in the aqueducts? You must be joking.
Don't be ridiculous. I never joke when it comes to food.
I practiced so long for that.
You go on ahead. I'm going back to town. I need to learn the spell needed to restore Cool's body. I'll meet you when you get to the archives.
You and I are the same. But those others, the fallen angel, the witch, they're using you for their own ends. You choose to be their puppet. Yet the power of your birthright could make you a god.
I doubt that would end well. Those who seek power are often destroyed by it.
There's no need to be snide. Soon enough, I'll walk this world again. Then I'll show you what a Nephilim can achieve.
Hey lady, I got some new things. You should take a look.
Vengeance!
My archives lie beneath this desert. perhaps even beneath the sands we now tread upon. The Horadrim could not destroy them. They could only lock the door behind them. And I still have the keys. In here, I can feel my blood nearby. They hid some of it beyond this portal.
These halls belonged to Zoltan Kuhl before they became his prison.
Arkan gathered the most devout, driven, and martial Zakarum adherents. He taught them to channel the power of light in the same way that the newly founded paladins were being trained. But these recruits, these crusaders, were given insight into the primal powers of Zakarum in a way no paladin ever was.
Your fear betrays you! Bleed, you filth! That was just a taste! That treasure could be of use to us. I feel more powerful.
When the Crusaders had learned all they could, Arkan sent them out into the world, seeking a way to cleanse the corruption that coiled at the heart of the Zakarum faith. There was no clear goal for them to pursue, and some clerics claimed it was a fool's errand, that they could never succeed. But these Crusaders would not be deterred.
This place must have belonged to Zoltan Kuhl before he died. It seems an adequate reflection of his character.
We found Kuhl's archives. They were strangely empty at first, but Kuhl laid traps everywhere, each step harder than the next. It was foolish to expect otherwise. Kuhl has prepared for many years for someone to come for him. Perhaps we are fools, and yet we must push on.
Finally, I have unlocked the secret of the Soul Stones once given to the Horadrim by Tyrael. An impressive creation, to be sure, but one that I am certain can be duplicated. No, not just duplicated, improved upon. My Soul Stone will be made to contain the souls of many demons, or even angels.
And Dariel was the only female evil. She aided the lesser evils for many years, but eventually she lost faith in their plots. 2 decades ago, she chose to help Diablo during his resurgence and seize the citadel of the Sightless Eye. Ultimately, she perished at the hands of brave heroes.
Bleed, you filth! I see riches ahead. Revel in your victory, my friend. I'm still waiting. Sweet revenge!
The rockworm may very well be the ugliest creature ever to blight the world with its presence. Bereft of any features aside from its massive jaws, the rockworm appears to be a giant invertebrate. I should like to study it further, but its burrowing tendencies make it extraordinarily difficult to track.
Vengeance! Darkness awaits you!
My training has paid off.
We, the Zakarum, have endeavored to make Caldeum a city of mercy and salvation, but we have not yet been able to convince the emperors to change the ancient policy of exile. Prisoners convicted of treason are still sent to the desolate sands to die with nothing but the clothes on their backs.
Look, just over there! I never imagined such a creature.
Some of my blood is within that cave. I can feel it.
A pall of silence lays heavily here.
I believe with this soul stone, I will finally be able to unlock the true power of man. In ancient times, our kind possessed power unmatched in this dreary age. With the soul stone, I will be able to elevate myself to the strength of my ancestors.
Sweet revenge! Need more time.
That was just a taste!
Shadows deepen. We must be getting close.
You won't survive that!
I'm overburdened.
I need to go back.
got some new things. You should take a look.
Feel my wrath! Do you want more?
We have won!
My archives are at the northern tip of the desolate sands. There we will find my body and the Black Soul Stone.
Fear and anger.
Here is the entrance to my archives. Let me activate the portal. I had to build all of this for my research and my experiments. The Black Soul Stone was a complicated creation. I sacrificed much to make it.
I have thought more on what I am missing.
Oh?
Our progress seems to clarify things for me. It is difficult to explain.
Perhaps more will come to you in time.
Yes, the spell that sent me to this time was bound to the Prophet. Now he is missing, and some parts of me are missing as well. Lost to the ages.
Is there nothing you can do?
I can try to conjure them back, but it will take a while. My skill is not so great as the Prophet's was.
Looks like I got here just in time. Emperor Hakan? What are you doing here?
Good, everyone's together. I came to tell you that I have found Bilal, and I am ready to lead you to him.
Then the Lord of Lies will fall as soon as we recover the Black Soul Stone.
All well and good. But first, I will be made whole.
We're ready to do our part. Just you remember yours.
Have you discovered Belial's identity?
Yes, but we must be very careful. He has noticed your actions, and he grows nervous. You focus on the Soul Stone. We can confront Belial afterward.
Look up there. Statues of Kul's guardians. I think they are almost as angry as he is.
Beyond these portals lie two relics that were once powered by my blood. Take the vials you recovered and use them to activate the relics.
I will stay here and prepare the ritual. Be careful. Even after everything we've come to know about Zoltan Kuhl, I never imagined anything like this. Maybe Adria is right about the Black Soul Stone.
You doubted me. How disappointing. Angels are no better than demons. Did you know that they once voted on whether or not to eliminate all of mankind? Only one vote saved us from extinction.
Tyrael. He is the only one of them to care about us.
Yes. Whatever else he may be, he is the aspect of justice. And there is no justice in murder.
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us cleanse it from this land.
Bleed, you filth! Your fear betrays you!
Not ready yet. I could get accustomed to that.
Bleed, you filth!
Need more time.
Feel my wrath! Feel my wrath!
I could have helped all men become Nephilim and ushered in a golden age. But my Herodic brothers could not accept man's true destiny.
A powerful enemy we have laid low.
We will seal the Shadow Locks with vials of his blood, and we will hide the blood in the desert under eternal guard. I can only hope that the world does not forget of Kuhl's evil, and his blood remains undisturbed beneath the shifting sands.
How satisfying. Darkness awaits you! Feel my wrath! Not ready yet. Sweet revenge!
Treasure!
Bleed, you filth!
The Crusaders swore an oath to dedicate their lives to the search. None believed that they would be the one to end the crusade by finding and cleansing the corruption. They believed the search ennobled them, that the discipline of their life and journey was the true goal. The Crusader was meant to find meaning in the quest itself.
Do you see that enemy over there? Let us cleanse it from this land.
Bleed, you filth! Vengeance!
We all agree that the end times are upon us. But do you truly believe that Belial and Asmodan could have engineered these events?
There are no others who would put us in such peril. I can't carry any more.
Try as we might, Kul simply cannot be killed. His cursed blood sustains him. He bleeds sand and his laughter mocks us. There is only one course of action left to us. We will separate his body and his head, and hide the body within the Shadow Realm.
I need to go back.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
The shadow portal lies here, waiting to be opened.
The Horadrim did all this to lock my body away. They must have been very angry with me.
You betrayed them all. Of course you were imprisoned.
They were never very imaginative.
Vengeance! Bleed, you filth!
vengeance! That was just a taste! Most impressive. I will use it well. Feel my wrath!
Trust me, I understand. But we are more alike than you know. We have both tasted what it is to be Nephilim. Join with me, and we can become the masters of this world.
I cannot join with someone I cannot trust. Be silent.
Cool mocks my every step. I try to shut him out, but his chattering is ceaseless. He takes joy in taunting me. I will not rise to the bait. I will not give in to him. I long for the silence that will come once I secure his head away.
I have Cool's body.
Then let me begin the ritual. But I'm warning you, Cool. You'd better not cross us.
You are surrounded by deceit, young one. I am the least of your concerns. Concentrate, Leah. Soon now. Just a bit longer. Just a moment. Almost. Yes. Ugh! My blood thunders within me. This fetid air fills my ravaged lungs. I am alive again.
You're welcome.
Don't forget your part of the deal, Cool. Give us the Soul Stone.
Very well. The bargain stands. Quickly, to my sanctum.
You should follow Cool into his sanctum before he changes his mind.
At long last, I can complete my life's work. All will tremble at my power. What is this? How has this happened? The souls of the dead lords of hell have been absorbed into the stone. Abandon your quest, Nephilim. Your allies seek only to control you. With the power I offer, You and I could rule over all creation.
You are mad, Cool. Give me the stone, or I will destroy you.
Wards have been triggered. It seems my brothers have finally come looking for me. Damn them. I am not ready. Too much of my power is invested in the stone's creation. I must finish it. The future of mankind depends on it.
Do women in your land really dress in that manner?
Of course. Why do you ask?
Oh, I was merely curious.
Five lords of hell now reside within this stone. This was your doing, Adria.
20 years ago, during the darkening of Tristram, Cain told me of Zoltan Kuhl's profane soulstone.
That's why you left me. You went to mark the demon's souls so that they could be drawn into Kuhl's vessel.
Yes, my daughter. I have sacrificed everything for this.
I need to go back. What shall we do after Belial and Azmodan are trapped within the Soul Stone?
Then I will shatter it, and the lords of hell will be no more.
We've got to reach the Emperor. He said he can lead us to Belial.
Are you certain we can trust the child?
We have no choice. But know this. If Belial gets desperate, he will unleash hell upon Caldeum.
So before we face him, we must evacuate the citizens. The Iron Wolves can help.
Of course. Let's get going. What brought you to Tristram?
You know, I've asked myself that. It was Mira's idea. I wonder if she saw something and knew that I needed to be there to help you. Did she know what was going to happen all along?
There's no point in asking yourself such questions. What is done is done.
Thank you. I need a moment alone.
I think I was wrong about the jewel I seek. It's not in this land either. Oh, what a pity.
You seem to be a carefree man. Why are you looking for such a dangerous jewel?
Because it has killed thousands. And because I'm the only one who can hold it without harm.
Because you are a god, correct?
No, because it has already taken everything from me that matters. But enough of that. I have gone too long without spiced beef and spicier wine. Do you think I could take a close look at that black soul stone? It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
The stone is very dangerous.
You think too little of me. The object of my search is as dangerous as anything. My expertise may be of some use to you. I am, after all, quite well versed in the knowledge of jewels and stones.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
Surely there has been a woman you have loved among all the others.
Ah, yes. The unreasonable one I spoke of earlier. I loved her with every inch of my heart before it went black as coal.
What became of her?
Well, she did what all unreasonable women do. Married the wrong man.
Surely you could have persuaded her to stay.
It wouldn't have been easy. He was my brother.
I am prepared to read these key words. I will turn the page. How odd. They are simple words. Words that I have never seen together before. Oh, I can see everything. Water on a leaf. A burning hut. Light in my mother's eyes. Oh, make it stop! It's slowing now. I can... Oh, no! No! I was a young man. A promising soldier of Westmarch. The Order recruited me. They lied to me. Piled false sins upon me.
Why do you think they did this?
I do not know. But I am sure this is why John Dar turned from the Order. He was a fool. The Grand Maester cannot possibly know what his Inquisitors have done. When I return with the tomes, he will punish them for their sins. Please, I must think on this.
Belial has started his attack on the city. Let's go. Ashira is already at the sewers. Hurry! We'll keep you safe!
Belial is starting to panic, and he tears the city apart to stop us.
When the fireballs began falling from the sky, we started evacuating the people. They will be safe here.
I'll bring as many as I can find.
The Iron Wolves will assist you to the death.
I saw people hiding under the carts. Bring them to the sewers.
We can't risk our lives on this foolish heroism. We must go to the Emperor immediately.
We can't let these people die, Mother.
They'll die anyway. But if we die, Belial wins.
You may be right, but I still won't abandon them.
We have nowhere to hide. Who has brought this wrath down upon us?
There are more people to the west, through the doors.
Who has brought this wrath down upon us?
I never believed it would end like this.
Help me! Lead the rest of the people here before it's too late.
Now to the gates. We have no time to lose.
let's go.
I'm still waiting.
Now, Leah, use your power just the way I taught you and bring down these gates.
Stand back. I still can't fully control it.
Do not worry about us.
You dare stand in our way?
We won!
Stop them!
Kneel before the servants of Belial.
That sorcerer's illusion blocks our path. Kill him!
We must face another trial, my friend.
Not ready yet.
Again, daughter!
I feel so weak. I don't know if I can.
You must! Now!
The strength lies within you, Leah.
It is up to you now. Hurry! I must stay here and tend to Leah.
Praise the gods, you've arrived just in time. Show me the Soul Stone.
You'll get a good look when I trap your miserable soul within it, Belial.
Clever. But know this, Nephilim. Asmodan knows of the stone and the power it contains. Even if you defeat me, he will exterminate you and every last one of your misbegotten kind.
I will not be undone! This world is mine! I cast off these petty illusions. Behold, the true vision of the Lord of Hell!
Quickly, Leah! Seal Belial's soul within the stone. It is ironic that one as twisted as Zoltan Kuhl played so great a role in our salvation.
Kuhl was once a tireless enemy of hell. From his life, let us learn. The longer we fight evil, the more it can corrupt our hearts.
I need to go back. Leah is growing powerful.
The power was always within her. Now she's learning to control it.
You passed it on to her then?
I do not know where her power comes from. I spent a lifetime studying the ways of magic. It did not come so easily to me. While I was in Tristram, Deckard Cain told me of a black soulstone crafted by a renegade Horadrim. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but later, I realized its true significance. I knew the essences of the 5 slain lords of hell still existed in our world, So I spent the last 20 years locating and preparing them to be drawn into the stone when it was finished.
Finished?
Kul was interrupted during his first attempt. Now that the Soul Stone is finally complete, the Lords of Hell have been trapped within it. Know this. I have given everything, even my own blood, my own daughter, so that I could hunt Belial and Azmodan. Do not question my dedication. I have given more than any, and I will give more before the end comes. Controlling the Black Soul Stone will be perilous.
Will you be able to handle it?
It won't be me who will use it. Only Leah, under my guidance, can wield it. Her power is far greater than mine, and it will ensure our success.
I'm not sure what I expected it would be like to have my mother back. But it wasn't this. She's different than what I imagined. I can see the toll her mission has exacted from her, just as it had with my uncle.
Do you wonder what will happen in Caldeum now?
Life will go on, I expect. For those who survived.
Ashira will be there to keep the peace. I only hope they rebuild wisely. I've seen the ruin that Leoric and Diablo brought in Tristram. I would not wish it upon Caldeum.
Hey lady, I got some new things. You should take a look.
I knew you'd have an easy time defeating Belial.
I wouldn't say it was easy.
Oh, you're way too modest. Now, Azmodan, that's going to be a fight.
Can you remember anything else now?
Yes, faintly. My sisters and I were once mere servants in the house of a great Vizhera lord.
Did he instruct you in magic then?
No. I began reading his spell books out of curiosity and teaching magic to my sisters. Tricks, really. It was amusing for a time, but then I learned that he had begun to summon demons.
You are a true hero.
They say the demon that possessed the Emperor.
Everything's gone the way of the burning hills around.
I need to go back.
Today is a good day. You have liberated this land and brought low a lord of hell. Enjoy this moment, for tomorrow our war continues.
There is no time for rest. Even now, Azmodan plots our destruction.
The Lord of Sin is an uncanny tactician. He'll attack us where he believes we'll least expect it.
And where defeat would break our will to resist.
You are learning well, Leah. Now you must go to Caldeum's great library and continue with your uncle's work.
Hey lady, I got some new things. You should take a look.